This is Fireman Ed, and you're listening to Jets Commute, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Jet fans, let's rock MetLife Stadium this year. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets! This is Fireman Ed, and you're listening to Jets Commute, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Jet fans, let's rock MetLife Stadium this year. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets!
backfield and create so many lanes for the other team. Like he doesn't look like a disciplined player in their scheme right now. It's just a bad fit.
Then also, dude, him. Who's the other guy on the side? Fucking Brandon Graham, which at his age you would to expect Brandon Graham to get off a fucking block and to make a tackle on the outside when you got these outside people that you've drafted like Nolan Smith, you brought in Huff. They're getting wallowed by fucking tight ends. It's not even the titles getting to them. It's a fucking tight ends, bro. It's just disgusting, man.
You're 1-1. You'll be fine.
Well, Petey, we got the Saints next, and then the Bucks, buddy. We might be fucking 1-3.
Where's the Saints game in New Orleans?
It's in New Orleans, and we got to go to Tampa.
So wow, your first 3 out of your first 4 were road games.
Correct, and we have 3 straight against the NFC South.
Wait, was that Brazil game an away game for you guys, or
No,
game?
I'm sorry. That Brazil game was a home game.
All right.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, man, it is tough being an Eagles fan on his app, but I'm here, man.
I got no sympathy, bro. You guys got a championship, so at least you can have a conversation with Eagles.
Hey, listen,
some Eagles fan you can't talk to.
Man, Petey, let's have a meeting at the table, bro. Let's bring in Huff and bring in Hassan, man. Let's try to.
Nah, no thanks. I want Reddick. Maddie, you came up. What's up?
Yeah, I just was noticing that the weather was actually going to be good for Thursday night. Can't believe it.
Yes, I did see that. I checked. Yes, a little rain in the morning. And then,
I just expect it to rain for all the Jets games.
Oh, please, Maddie, don't remind me. Last year was the worst.
Beautiful
PD, last year sitting in that Giants game was the most miserable experience I've ever had as a fan.
Yeah, I know. I was at that game. I actually left, and I never usually leave like that. And I saw Zerline lining up. I said, no way. I thought my eyes were lying.
I don't know. When we lost to the Patriots in the rain, I thought that was bad.
No, the Giant game was worse, bro.
But they won the Giants game.
Worse. Yeah, but it was bad, man. I can't explain it.
Worse.
No,
it was like 2 to 3 inches of rain.
You know why I think it was worse, Maddie? Because there were less Jeff fans at the game for the Giants.
Wasn't it? Wasn't it a Giants game?
Yes, but it was just miserable. And then you got to hear everybody, Jeff fans booing, and then on top of it, Giant fans acting the way they do towards Jeff fans.
I'll tell you, the resale value for Thursday night is not good right now. It's not good. Prices have all come down, and
that's good for parking.
It's the tickets are all on the market, very close to the face value in the lower level.
It's good for parking.
I don't think there's much Thursday night. People don't want to go.
No, they'll go. It'll go up.
It'll go up. You think like the day of it'll go up?
Yep. But that you have to sell early.
Always.
You know?
PD, I got to run, but it was good to hear from you guys. Good to hear from you too, Maddie.
Yeah.
See you, Chris.
Have a great day.
Chris is a good guy.
You know, question real quick. Will Kirk Cousins ever get any respect, man? I mean, like, he gets shitted on all the time, man, and he's a solid quarterback.
Well, June, he certainly gets paid.
Yeah.
You know, like he's respected.
Yes, he does, man.
June, with all due respect, my bro, he's made $250 million, man. I don't feel bad for him.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. Trust me, I don't feel bad. But no one.
He's respected by the right people.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I go with that.
Go ahead, June. You could, you're saying in the court of a public opinion, he's not, he's just
I think also, June, they look at his playoff record, right, and they try to see a little bit of that, and that's what mostly quarterbacks are probably talked about. It's a playoff record, so it's not that good.
So, Pete, do you have a lid today or no lid?
I'm actually just getting it now. No lid. Took my first sip as we're speaking.
How do you feel about that, June? Petey, to get back into the car, no lid on the coffee?
He's living dangerously.
Yeah, that is.
In the streets of New York and Jersey with no minimum coffee, you look dangerous.
Brooklyn born, Jersey strong, right, Petey?
Yes, sir.
Hey June, so what scheme does fucking Salah run with you guys in
He
your?
runs a cover three. He runs cover three, cover four quarters, basically all day long.
Basically mostly four down linemen the whole game.
Yep.
What
Very
the
And they run a
fuck are
seldom,
we
wide
doing,
nine.
bro?
They run a wide nine.
very seldomly do we blitz, but for the most part, just cover three and cover four quarters, wide nine. That's it. We'll cover three you to death.
Yeah, the thought that fucking Nick Sirianni thought it was smart of getting Vic Fangio for these type of boys we got up front with
Yeah, you know what?
not
I
really great
don't.
linebackers is just absolutely
Yo,
absurd.
Fly,
I
do you
don't
think? Go
understand
ahead.
that, Fly.
Do you
I don't
think?
understand that.
Do you think Sirianni's on the hot seat?
He
He
should
has
be.
to be. He has to be on the hot seat, especially those calls that he did yesterday, going for it on fourth.
Yeah, he.
Right,
You
those
know
are just
what?
little things, man.
2 years ago, when y'all went to the Super Bowl, it was the perfect storm because you had two great coordinators, and now
Yep.
that they
Shane
left,
Steichen again, and yeah.
yeah, yes, and now that they left, you really get the chance to see Nick for what he is, and he's not that
Yeah.
good of a coach. A lot,
By the
lot of
way,
bad decisions.
PD, to answer your question, it's he's definitely on the hot seat because he was given the opportunity to go out there and get coordinators.
Yep.
And not saying that Kellen Moore is going to fail or Vic Fangio, but as you can see so far, what was it? 4 penalties of illegal men downfield that cost us drives.
Yeah, the
The
RPOs.
defense can't stop a fucking nosebleed. I mean, listen, thankfully the Packers and the Falcons are 0 for 7 in the red zone with field goals. I mean, those could have been touchdowns. Like, these scores would have been lopsided, bro, if we don't even stop them. So
Hey,
painful,
Fly,
bro.
you know what's crazy, Fly? Just to say the names of your front forward. You know what I'm saying? Like it would really be scary, but for some reason it doesn't work in that scheme.
It's June. It's bad, bro. It's like fucking Jalen Carter's going on the wrong side when he sheds a tackle. Jordan Davis is nowhere to be found.
Wow,
It's oh my god,
that's
bro.
amazing, bro. That's amazing.
That's why to me it's laughable. Like it's not even pain, bro. It's just laughable. Like it's not like you're getting a bunch of rookies and you're asking them to do things. Like everybody praises Howie Roseman, man, but we got questions that need to be answered.
Hmm.
Just endure the pain.
I am, Maddie. I am, bro.
Just endure it.
But it's so funny, right? It's like the Eagles lose, and this fucking app turns into the most depressing thing for an Eagles fan. But most of these people talking, I've never even seen the Super Bowl, so I just try to laugh. I
Yeah,
just try to
You're
that's
right.
funny.
smile.
That's funny. That's
But it's
funny.
all good, man. It's all good. Listen, when we win, I'm here. When we lose, I'm here. I fucking jumped on that Falcon space yesterday. Oh man, like don't listen, bro. Don't that fan base acted like they won the Super Bowl. But kudos to them, man. Kudos to them.
You know who would have been the best defensive coordinator fit for your team? Wilkes.
I believe so. I believe so.
Wilkes would have been perfect for the team that you have. Attacking defense.
Bro, they don't make them like Jim Johnson anymore, man. That's
No.
the one thing for sure. Even a Sean McDermott when he was on our staff, bro. Like they don't make them like that anymore, bro. Not at all. By the way, this fucking 3-4 shit, bro. Like, that shit's gonna haunt me for this season. But,
3-4 fucking defense.
bro, they want fucking Jordan Davis to be on nose tackle and Jalen Carter to be the.
Yeah.
I don't even know, bro.
Yeah. That don't even make sense.
And then Nakobe Dean trying to get through the sheds of the blocks while fucking tight ends are pushing out Huff and pushing out Nolan Smith and pushing out 35-year-old Brandon Graham
Yo,
with the
how can
jabs.
all those guys are getting criticized too, man? Like by the coaching.
PD,
Huff.
our majority of our money and our picks is in the front four, bro.
Yeah.
Front five.
Yeah.
This shit's
Yeah.
crazy, bro.
They
Let me
really
ask a
played the wrong
what?
scheme.
Yeah, let me get to the it's Patriots week. The Jets won this week. New England had a bad injury, which sucks. But I don't. What's the linebacker's name again? That's not playing. Give me a second.
See,
Jawan
yeah.
Bentley. Jawan Bentley is going to be out for the season, which is a bad blow to New England, man. Their defense is really good, guys. I don't know. Like, I don't think this is going to be a freaking cupcake game. There's no way. It's New England. I know Jeff fans want to beat them. You know, Jeff fans didn't want to win the game last year, but I'm looking to go on a streak with these guys.
Look, I told you before the season started that Patriots is not going to be the team that everybody think and be the cellar dwellers. I don't think that defense. As long as you got defense in the run game, you can win games. Period.
I agree. And they got Stevenson and
Dude,
what's the Antonio Gibson.
yes.
I mean, that's a pretty formidable back. You know, two backs. So I expect New England to run the ball a lot, don't take too many shots, and what worries me is like the play action shit with them and them finding them little dink and dunk passes that turn into long gains. That's what worries me this week. But CB, you want to say anything or?
Good morning. Listen, you just got to be disciplined. My New England, new coach, whatever, but they still don't beat themselves most of the time. Especially not when they're playing defense. So, real quick, PD, I just wanted to give something I didn't think I'd do. I just want to give Hackett his flowers for a minute. I was watching, all the Jets put up their little highlight reel of Braylon Allen and Brees, the killer bees or whatever they're calling them. But, early in the game, he had both of them in the backfield with Rodgers, and then I think threw a little screen pass or a little swing pass out to Brees. And it wasn't significant. He maybe got like 4 or 5 yards. But then he came back in the late third quarter with that same look and set it up again. But this time it was the screen for the Braylon Allen touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
So play calling's a skill that needs to be developed. And I'm not saying Hackett has developed it. I'm not saying he's good. I just wanted to give him his flowers for at least having some sort of plan at that point to use those guys and build off a certain look. So got to give him his credit when it's due.
Yeah. I mean, they said too that they stuck with that play, CB. I forget who I heard it from, but kudos to them for sticking to that play. You're right about that. Maddie, are you going Thursday?
I'm literally reducing the price of my tickets right now to try to sell them. I have a foot problem right now, and it's just a lot of walking to be there. I can't walk more than a few minutes right now. So I'm looking to sell my seats.
Do you wear a boot?
No, but I literally just got these because I don't have anything structurally wrong with my feet. I just have like an entrapped nerve on my right foot, and it's because I banged my foot really hard. I have an entrapped nerve, so it's it needs to be released. And I got these new not a boot, but like a raised orthotic to take pressure off the nerve. But anyways, long story short, I'm trying to get rid of the tickets, and I've had them on sale. But look, I mean, worst case scenario, I will still try to make it. I'll bring my crutches or whatever, and I'll go. But yeah, that's sort of where I'm at right
you
now.
can literally request if you have crutches. You can go to guest services and request for accessible seating. Just so you know.
No. I'm not going to do that. I'd rather hop to my seats. But you're right. I mean, we'll see. They'll sell. It's just a matter of what I reduce the price to. So.
Buckeye.
Good morning, Buckeye. How you
Yes,
doing?
sir. Good morning.
Do you believe in Kirk Cousins yet?
No, not really. I was thinking, watching both those two and Jalen Hurts, who's wildly overrated. I've been saying that. I feel like once Aaron is in full throttle this year, I don't think he's overmatched by either of those two guys.
Yeah. By the way, Rodgers is in the top. I saw a stat. I know it's only 2 games, but he's up there with Josh Allen on a stat. I think it's. I gotta look it up.
June, do you watch the game with the Mannings, or you don't watch it that way?
No, I don't watch it that way.
They kept criticizing Kurt about like the extra hitch. They're like, he's not getting the ball out. He's not getting the ball. And there was a lot of times he was missing the throws or near interceptions. How many times did Philly nearly intercept that ball? They were jumping in front of the receiver a bunch of times, and they were like, it's because of the extra hitch. Look, I think he's good. He's not in the world of Rodgers, man. Not even in the
Oh,
same
nah,
planet.
I wouldn't dare say that. No,
Yeah.
I'm saying he's a solid quarterback.
But I think he's what Atlanta needs to be what we thought. I think you were like also in the beginning of the season that I think that team could win the NFC.
What I tell you? What did I
Yeah.
tell you? Yeah, I still like them to win the NFC.
Well, listen, injuries are piling. So, like, the 49ers alone have, what is it, Kittle, McCaffrey, and Debo.
Yep.
So 3 of their prolific weapons are gone. The Rams, I can't begin to tell you. That's the whole team.
Yeah, Cooper Cup.
Yeah, and Puka Nakua, and I think their starting guard. Like, they're getting killed. I wonder if that's a team, and I don't know what his contract situation. I wonder if that's a team that if the injuries piled up so much that they were out of it, if they would entertain a Stafford type deal. I think Stafford's not going to finish his career in the Rams.
Where would he go, to Miami? Oh my gosh.
Well, they don't
Imagine
have.
that.
It's too much money, right? So like,
no, Russell Wilson would be the perfect fit for Miami. They're not paying him enough. You know, they're not paying him a lot, but he's getting paid $2 million. All the money that Miami just shelled out anyway for their wide receivers. That'd be perfect for him.
I got to look at Stafford's contract real quick.
The Rams are just their injuries are wild, man. They really got decimated. The other team that I'm actually starting to believe in is Arizona because Kyler looks like Kyler again.
Yeah, Stafford signed next year. Wow, his cap hit is $49 million.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a team that's not afraid though, Petey. They do moves.
His roster bonus is due March 19th, so they got to make a decision by March 19th.
Well, it ain't gonna be Miami. That team's in cap hell, bro.
No, you're right. I'm just saying. Imagine that for 1 year.
Miami's a team. And again, hopefully Tua, hopefully that situation resolves itself and it's a positive one. But if Tua doesn't come back, I don't know if you keep all those pieces, and I don't even know what the cap implications are because they just signed all these guys. They just paid everybody. It's a disaster. It's honestly a disaster.
The ink didn't even dry on a contract just yet. Like I said, the best move they could possibly do is make a trade for Russell Wilson, who's getting paid like $2 million.
Petey, what is if they moved? Just out of curiosity, if they moved Jalen Waddle, what does that look like from a?
Oh my God! Sorry.
Because clearly he has massive trade value.
No, they can't move him. Hold on. No, why would they? If anybody they would move, it's got to be Tyreek.
Who?
Tyreek, because Waddle's
they just signed him too.
Right, but Waddle's a building piece. He's young. You got to keep the young guy. But let me see, Waddle. No, you can't trade him.
Waddle's about $28 million a year, and
yeah, Buckeye. No offense,
but don't you think that? Don't you think I'm just curious. Don't you guys think because of the age that Waddle's trade value is higher than Tyreek Hill's?
I mean, I think you would get a first-round pick for Waddle for sure.
I don't know if you'd get a
actually for Tyreek. I think you would. Tyreek's still the best player in football and non-position, in my opinion.
Yeah, I gotta give it to him. Neil, what's going on?
It's going to hurt him this year. It's going to hurt him this year. You know that.
What's up, June? I was just going to say the Dolphins right now sit 25 million under the cap right now. They're not trading for Matt Stafford. That's not happening. But they're not in cap hell at all. They have about 45 million in restructures they can do. They're only projected to be about 5 million. I know everyone runs the over the cap. That's a site that's ran by Jason. You know, I know you guys know him. The NFLPA put out their official numbers, and over the cap, into his own admission, Jason said he had the Dolphins numbers wrong.
All right, does he have them wrong for next year? Because they have $4 million in next year. I know they can get out of stuff. They could get out of Chubb if they cut.
Yeah, they don't have the reworked Tyreek Hill, $13.4 million that created. He doesn't have that on there, and he doesn't
Even
have
for next
the
year, he
money that would.
doesn't.
Nah, yeah, because he never put it in for the first year. That's the one of the main differences between him and Spot Track right now. And the NFLPA's numbers are very close to Spot Track's right now for
So,
the Dolphins.
so spot track is. I always go to over the cap.
I, for me, Spot Track's always been more accurate. They count cap carryover, and I don't think over the cap does.
And Neil,
So
let me ask you a question. Then, what do you think about Russell Wilson?
I don't think it's the right move right now. They're going to roll with Skylar Thompson this week, man. They're going to give him. He knows the system.
Yes, we do.
I do like them bringing in Tyler Huntley, because when you look at our next three matchups, it's Geno Smith, it's Will Levis, and it's Jacoby Brissett. And I'm not saying Huntley's better or worse than any of them, but I think he's on par with a lot of those guys. But I think Mike McDaniel is very loyal, and we're going to see Skyler. I think Tua is going to be out a lot shorter than people are anticipating. I think he probably comes back that game after the bye, which I think might be the Colts. But Skylar Thompson's got to win two of these three next games, or the season's on life support. There's no ifs and about it. But I really doubt that they'd blow it up if it didn't work out. I think what the Dolphins need to do, no matter what happens with Tua, is they need to draft a quarterback because the situation in Miami is a little bit different, right? Tua goes down, the season's over. We don't have a good quality backup. Because I'm not a Skylar Thompson guy. I wanted the Dolphins to sign Tyler Huntley after the preseason. I thought Skylar looked awful in the preseason, and he won the job because Mike White was just worse. I don't think either of them earned the position, but I would say that the Dolphins, depending on how they fail, I think they're going to look at a quarterback, maybe a first round quarterback, a guy like Jackson Dart from Mississippi, Cam Ward from Miami, if one of those guys happened to be available when they were there. But I think long term, their strategy has to be to double down on quarterback because, they have so much invested in Tua. And Tua's not going to retire. It's just not in his DNA, man. He's going to play. I mean, he's already made it well known to, anyone who's around him in his circle that he's coming back. It's just a matter of when. But, you know, it's early in the season, but if you miss 4 or 5 games, and you lose those games, the AFC is a bloodbath, and I don't think you can make up that much ground, especially with the murder row of our schedule at the end with the Niners. We play you guys twice, the Browns, the Texans, another game against Buffalo. It's you got to get these wins early in the season when you can, and this injury and concussion doesn't align well with your schedule.
Well, Neil, to be fair, I don't think the Dolphins' schedule is that brutal yet. To be fair, they still can beat some of these teams, in my opinion. I really,
Well, that's what I was saying. Win now because the schedule at the end's tough. You
yeah.
know what I mean? You got to like Seattle. I'll be honest, Seattle on the road, no matter who our quarterback is, that's a tricky game.
Oh yeah,
That's a long trip. I think that Seattle does have some talent, on their team, especially at cornerback. They're really strong at corner, but that's a tough road trip. So I don't know. I think everyone who's a Dolphins fan, if they're being honest right now, until we have any idea of when Tua's coming back, it's just a crapshoot at this point. Everyone's just guessing, and I think unfortunately the league's going to see how good Tua was for the Miami Dolphins. You're gonna. I hope not, but you're going to see Skylar Thompson. I know everyone's been pounding the table for Ryan Tannehill. I don't think Ryan Tannehill comes in and operates this system at 60% the level that Tua can. So I think unfortunately, for if you're a Dolphins fan, it's going to be some tough sledding. But I do think in 5 weeks probably that you're going to see Tua back on the field. It's just he doesn't want to hang him up. I don't think it has anything to do with just the guaranteed money that he's owed. I think it's just that's his personality, man. He loves football. He doesn't want to go out like that. I know we all saw the video. It was Teddy Bruschi put out there, right? But yeah, he's going to come back. And I say this as a Dolphins fan, and we talked about it, Petey. I love Tua. He's my favorite player in this league. I love the Miami Dolphins. Him retiring would not be best for the Miami Dolphins, but if that was my son, I would be having a hard conversation with him, being like, "Man, you're 26. You already have generational wealth. You have 2 children, man. I don't know. I
Yeah.
personally and and I'm not here, and everyone can send me messages. Oh, who the hell are you to tell Tua what to think? It's just my opinion, man. I think it's a hard thing to go back on the football field. Those posturing like concussions are scary, man.
Well, Neil,
They
real quick, I was at the Wayne Corbett his last game, and when his head hit the ground, it sucked, man. Like
yeah,
we knew, like you kind of knew it, like it was over for Corbett, and he was like
yeah, man.
Corbett was like the fan favorite, undrafted free agent, went to Hofstra. It couldn't get any better story, and it's sad, man, because you don't want to see somebody go out like that. It's awful, man.
Yeah, man, and you have I don't know what the grade is of it. I've had a grade 3 and grade 2 concussions in my life. I actually caught a pass at Raven Stadium in a game on Thanksgiving and landed on my head on the bat. But and I was in the hospital overnight on Thanksgiving for observation, and it took me a good 4 hours to come through, come back. You know what I mean? It's you hit your head, and I'm 42. That was when I was 18 years old. Man, like these, you get these side effects for the rest of your life. I see spots out of the corners of my eyes all the time. You have to sit in dark, and I played high school football. That's it, right? So it's one of those things, man. Like I don't know, and I think the thing about Tua that's scary is that everyone says, "Oh, you should slide. Oh, you should slide." Like ever since you go back to Alabama, and trust me, I've never missed one of Tua Tagovailoa's snaps, right? That's how he plays. He doesn't slide. He does lower his shoulder too much. He tries to make something out of nothing. His hip injury was on a play where he should have threw the ball away. There was nothing was going to happen, but he just holds on and thinks that something's going to, he's going to be able to create. And unfortunately, when someone has that play style with this concussion history, that's what scares me, is that Tua's already had concussions. He knew he had to change his play style. Once the bullets are flying and you're live and everyone's moving, it's easier said than done when that's in your nature. You know what I mean? It's like, so like if he has a chance to run again, like sure, everyone's like, oh, he'll learn, he's going to slide. I would say I don't know. I don't know if he would, because we've seen for 8 years now him on on our televisions not doing that. So it's scary, man. But just real quick for me on the Jets and the Patriots, man, I think this is a great matchup for you guys. I know that the Patriots are a tough team and they run the football. I thought from what I saw, the Jets' run defense got a lot better, and I
So did
think what
I.
happened is Kyle Shanahan's one of the best coaches in this league. He's a better schemer than even Mike McDaniel, and I say that as a Dolphins fan. They also have special talent, even with the absence of Christian McCaffrey. Like that first year coach in Tennessee, like I do think, and I'm a critic of Robert Saleh, but I think that the Jets coaching staff in the second half really outcoached them. And Will Levis didn't do them any favors by rolling the football and taking 3 points off the board early. But I think the Jets defense really settled in. They created some big turnovers. Like I've heard Sauce definitely didn't have his best game, but like the other team tries too. Calvin Ridley's a good football player. I don't care who you are. Deion Sanders got beat. You know what I mean? Every corner gets beat. Ed Reed is my favorite defensive player I ever watched. I've seen him get beat. It happens, man. The other team tries too. Like I think the Jets are going to be well prepared for the run. And as much as I do like C.J. Mosley, um, I actually think Jamie Sherwood's a good fit for them against the Patriots because he's got more sideline to sideline speed. I think the Jets can stop the run. And if you put this ball into Jacoby Brissett's hand, and I know some people think he's a decent backup, maybe he's been better since he left Miami. But man, when that guy has to think, he makes mistakes. And I think you guys could bait him into a couple picks. They do not have the weapons on the outside to challenge the Jets. So if I'm them, I'm putting Sauce. I'm putting, if DJ Reed's back, on their top receivers and saying, hey, it's 101 all day. And then I'm going to send some pressure on Jacoby Brissett, maybe get an extra man in the box so that Ramondre Stevenson can't get rolling downhill. But I think this is a game that I think this is a game that Jets might actually win pretty convincingly. And I know that's hard to say with a rival divisional game, but like I just think the Jets are. I think the Patriots are a flawed team that are playing really well for the first time coach, but it's early in the season. I think talent rises to the top, and I do think the Patriots are going to take their lumps over the next few weeks and for the remainder of the season. But they have a great foundation, I think, to build around that offensive line. That especially at left tackle, I think that's where they're vulnerable. And you might see your boy Will McDonald pair a couple sacks.
Yeah. Fans are ecstatic about McDonald.
Well, look, man, you got to give these young guys time. We're all instant gratifications. We live in what I call that Amazon world, right? You get what you want at your doorstep in 20 minutes. We get Uber Eats, everything. Sometimes it takes patience. They're young guys. Like I will say, like I don't know what you think about it, Petey, but what Carolina did to Bryce Young to me, that is the makings of an absolute flawed franchise, right? Like when you give up on a young quarterback that you've put in bad position for after 2 games, like you got to stick with these young guys, and like for every guy that doesn't pan out, maybe Will McDonald becomes that guy that is a direct replacement for Bryce Huff. I think sometimes, and I throw myself under this bus. We see our rookie not make a play for the first half of the season or something, and it's like, oh, this guy's a bust. Sometimes it takes time. The NFL is a lot tougher of a game than the collegiate level. I think I see, as a draft fan, I like seeing those type of stories when people are kind of written off and they make a comeback. I think that's cool to see, and that's a testament to good coaching, right? Like I think that the Jets on the defense side of the ball have some really good coaching, and it shows those adjustments they made. Like that game from Tennessee, I think a Jets team last year would have lost, and
Yeah,
I'm
they
not
would
really
have.
worried about. Yeah, the Aaron Rodgers thing, it's not about the quarterback to me. Sometimes it's situational coaching that matters. Like just when it looked like the Titans were going to pull away, the Jets made a play to keep them back in the game. And then at the end of the game, then they started to lean on the running game and milk the clock. So, I wouldn't be surprised in the least if you guys are 2-1 on Friday morning.
You got to start counting Neil as a guest, Petey.
Nah.
He's pretty good.
Dale, I'll bring some humor here. Dale, I think you and Neil make very long points.
Neil's good
Like,
though,
of
bro. He
course he
just
is. That's my man.
like he just cooks every time.
Yeah, Neil is on point. You be on point too sometimes, Dale.
I
Sometimes.
actually agree with most of Neil was saying, but I think the cherry on top was I wanted to kick on you guys so bad for that first half, and it looked bad, and I'm sure you guys were getting nervous. But I thought they adjusted well in the second half. Maybe it was the difference of Mosley to Sherwood. I think it made a huge difference, but I think you also got what you wanted in the end of that game, and that was something you didn't have last year, a quarterback that could go out and put you ahead at the end. And as a Bills fan, I didn't like to see that, but Rodgers looked very comfortable in the fourth quarter leading that drive to take the lead. So
Rodgers was pressured once, sacked once.
One thing I think is really interesting, and I don't know what everyone's takeaway is, like, what's the biggest surprise? And I know CB's up here, and I've heard him say in some of his spaces that he didn't have the Ravens as a playoff team. I thought the Ravens were one of the best teams in this league, and they're 0-2 they're going to Dallas, then they have Buffalo coming into town, and then I think they're back in Cincinnati. Like, and they still have 2 games with the Steelers, 2 games with the Browns. I mean, what do you guys think about the Ravens right now? And I'm not trying to troll or anything. Like, to me, like I thought it was complete, a dream for them to miss them. And just in perspective, the Ravens, I know we have our rivalry. I live in Baltimore because of that. The Ravens are my least favorite team because I've seen my friends that jumped off the bandwagon of their favorite teams win 2 Super Bowls in the time frame that my team hasn't won a playoff game. So it's crazy, but I think there's a strong chance that the Ravens could be 1-4 after the first 5 weeks. Like, what does everyone think? Do you think they are one of the biggest disappointments in the league right now?
It's a major disappointment to me. I mean, last year I thought the Ravens was one of the best teams, the top 2 best teams in the league. So for this to go on now, and then once they added Henry, I said, "Oh, this is a marriage made in heaven." But nah, I mean, CB right about him right now, and the way it looks now.
And it appears Isaiah Likely might be the better tight end than Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews doesn't look like the same player coming back from that injury. Something's off. He looks a little slower. He looks a little more sluggish. Lamar's not going to him. I don't know. I think, and I'll shut up and drop, but I think with like Harbaugh, you can be
Don't drop
really
because I
good at
want to
your.
ask you a question, Neil, when you get a chance.
all right, cool. You could be really good at your job, right? But sometimes you need a change of environment.
Yes.
For John Harbaugh, that's where I think the Ravens are. I think that Harbaugh has been such a good coach there for so long.
Burned out.
I'm not. I'm not sure that Lamar it's really it's Lamar's team. I mean, Lamar's the guy there, right? I'm not sure if there's a perfect harmony. Even though Harbaugh is very public about supporting Lamar and everything like that, like Harbaugh with time management is awful, man. And I think, he plays an arrogant style of football and that bully ball. And when you get it on 4th and 5 and you're at your own 30, it looks good. But when you don't, you put your team in position to lead. Gardner Minshew to go in there, and the Raiders have some talent on the outside, but like to go in there and lose to that Raiders team for Baltimore at home, I mean that is a big black eye right now on that team.
It's actually funny because the same way you felt about the same way CB felt about Ravens not being as good as they were, eh, I felt about the Raiders not being as bad as they were. They have a defense, man. They have a defense, and I know a lot of people sit there and laugh at Gardner Minshew, but the guy's won games in his league.
Oh, he's a fearless backup, and I think when you have the tendency to push the ball downhill, and you have Devontae Adams, who had a hell of a game against Baltimore, Brock Bowers, who's already I think established himself as one of the best tight ends in this league. I mean, and Jacoby Myers is no slouch, right? Like they have good weapons, and on the defensive line they have Wilkins and Crosby. I mean, they're not an easy out, but I did not. Still, with that said, I lost a 16 game parlay, and my loss was picking the Ravens over the Raiders.
Rockers looks so good.
He does. Neil.
Listen up. What's going on? Good morning, brother.
Yeah, I think John had a question for Neil, but I guess he left. One thing I'll say about the Raiders is that the Raiders are a good team. They
Yes,
have a legit defense.
they
And if
do.
you watch that game, Devontae Adams took over that game. Devontae Adams is that dude. So to me, looking at that Ravens loss, because I watched the game, I don't consider that a bad loss because I think the Raiders are going to give a lot of teams problems, including my team. So, look, we're going into week 3, and people that've watched the NFL for years, we've seen teams go 3-0 and finish with 5 wins.
Yep.
I mean, we have to be we got to be like astute, like sports people, in that we understand that the NFL season, you don't really know who's who until possibly earliest mid-October. And then, as Tom Brady used to always say, the real season for the contenders doesn't start until after Thanksgiving. So we understand how the preseason rules have rolled back the ability for teams to develop themselves in the preseason and the offseason. So these first 4 weeks are essentially extended preseason games. Before we write off the Ravens or any team of that matter, let's let's allow more things to play out.
Yeah, I'm not writing
Right?
off the Ravens. No way.
Yeah, and I'm not either. I guess I'm just they're one of the most prepared teams in football usually, and something it looks a little off there. And Zay Flowers is living up to the hype surrounding him. He looks like a guy who's going to enter that conversation of probably being a top 15 receiver in this league. I just personally think that Isaiah Likely is the better player than Mark Andrews right now. And their offensive line, and there's not a Ravens fan that watches them that won't. I mean, they at right guard Daniel Falele. I mean, he's 6'8", 360 pounds. He does not have the movement skills inside to be a guard. And I mean, a foundation of the Ravens have always been they're one of the best teams in the trenches. And I think on the defensive side of the ball, they still have that. But their offensive line, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. I'll take 30 offensive lines over the interior of ours, but the Ravens is the one team I wouldn't take their interior over ours. So it's like
I
it's a
agree
little.
with you. I agree with you, Neil, that the Ravens' offensive line is questionable, but I need to see them against a bad team before I say that, because Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins together, if anybody watched that game, That is a legit force. So I mean, they were moving Max Crosby up and down. The kicker can come up. It's his team. Up and down their offensive line, and he was just whipping the right tackle, as you said, Neil. Wilkins and Crosby were destroying the right guard. It was just a bad look for the Ravens from an offensive line perspective. And where I agree with you, Neil, is if they don't get the offensive line together, then they will have a subpar season.
What do Jets fans think about seeing Becton kicked in at right guard?
He's just a big piece of shit.
They developed him wrong.
Yeah, he's
I got it. Go ahead, Jim.
he's just big.
Yeah.
He's just big. That's it.
Hey Dale, I don't think that Becton would have been ready to be kicked over to guard with the Jets. He came in as a tackle. He lost some trust in the organization, and I don't think that if they suggested he go to guard, I don't think he would have had an open mind at that particular time. I think he needed to go to a new place, a new start, and to reset and to sort of hit like more of a rock bottom in order to accept that suggestion.
Dale, you know what? Yeah, Maddie, you were 200% correct. He would have bitched and moaned about that.
Hey, y'all play Thursday, right?
Yep.
Oh, my bad. Good morning, y'all. My bad. I was rude.
What's up,
My bad.
man? Yo, you went viral, man.
Yeah, I went viral for the wrong reasons.
Yo,
Can I
kick
say,
a fuck Antonio Brown.
look,
Kick a.
no, I ain't worried about him, but can I say something though? Like, I'm one of them fans, right? If anybody see my videos, that's the type of fan I am. I would never be disrespectful when you got other fans saying off the wall shit. Like, you get what I'm saying? All I said was stay off the podcast. It sounds like you get more effort on the podcast than you on the field. Do you got his sister want to say shit? Does she want to lock her tweets? I ain't gonna lie. I'm one of them fans. I'm not getting into it with fans. I mean, family members. You know why? Because guess what?
All
You
right.
ever saw? Hold up, Petey. You ever saw? Right? You might have a player this year, right? Like who y'all got? What's that boy name? What's that tackle y'all got from the Cowboys?
Tyron Smith.
Tyron Smith, right? So you see his family members at the game, they got all the Jet shit on, right? Now let's say if Tyron Smith go to the Saints next year, they all gonna rock the same shit. So at the end of the day, bro, like we're fans for our teams. Now I can see if I was saying FUB, this and that, you sorry, you know what I mean? All I said was like, bro, I want to see my team win a Super Bowl, bro. And I'm gonna be real with you. I feel like that shit's a joke. Like, let me ask y'all a question, right? As a Jets fan, how would y'all feel, right? If y'all started off 0-2, maybe 0-5, but every day you got Aaron Rodgers on the Pat McAfee show. Y'all not gonna feel some type of way about that? Like, come on, bro. Like, at the end of the day, we pay our hard-earned money to go see them play.
But Kika, it's your listen, and I'm a fan just like you. It's my choice to go every game, just like you. You don't have to go. Neither do I. So you're making that decision, and I think fans think just because they pay to go to a game, they have a right. And I'm not. This is not towards you, bro. I think fans think that they have the right to just say whatever they want because they paid for a ticket. No,
Right.
no,
I agree, but
no.
I'm just reading the comments. People say, "Yo, he really waited out there all day." If anybody know me, win or loss, I'm out there all day. And you know what's so funny, Petey? The same shit I told Marlon Humphrey, I told EDC, I told Zach Orr, I told damn near every player that went out. So that man need to get out his feelings. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm glad it's a recorded space. I hope CD Lamb cook his ass this week. You know why? Because I ain't gonna say nothing about him. I'm gonna just let the other Raven fans talk about him. But let me holler at y'all though real quick, man. I definitely like the Patriots against y'all Thursday.
Oh yeah, that's great. Wait, you got the Cowboys this week? You
I like the
All right, so
I like the
you know
Cowboys.
what? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring some more entertainment and back and forth. How does you like the Patriots? So do you think your team will get to, because whoever loses this game is going to be 1-2. So do you think you're going to get to 1-2 after this week?
I think we're gonna be 0-5. I think
Really?
our first win gonna be against the Commanders.
So if you're 0-5, has any team ever made the playoffs?
I don't
starting
think we
0
making the
5.
playoffs.
No, they
I
haven't.
don't think we making the
No,
playoffs
no.
this
Yes,
year.
yeah. Didn't San Diego do that? Well, they was in San Diego at that time. The Chargers.
I mean, maybe I'm being sarcastic right now as the other Ravens fans. I mean, I feel like we should just tank the rest of the season so we can get rid of John Harbaugh and let's just have a rebirth.
Yo,
You feel
kicker,
me? A
you've
rebirth.
been having a rough 2 weeks, bro.
Yeah, I will give
Yeah.
this. Listen, I will go on record right now. If John Harbaugh is gone, I want the Jets hiring that guy in a millisecond because that is a
Amen.
great football head coach. I'm sorry. That guy, you could say because he's on your team, I would take Harbaugh in a minute over Robert Saleh.
No. See,
A
look, this is
minute.
my thing, right? I'm not a Harbaugh hater, but it ain't.
Did we lose him? Or is it
You see,
me?
you see,
Hey,
you see
no, I'm
God's
here.
work.
No, I'm here. Hello.
I
Go
got I got
ahead.
50. I got 50 on that game kicker. If you want to put some money
Oh,
on it,
no.
got 50 on it. What's up?
On what game?
You said the Patriots game.
He's just doing that to get attention on here. Just like
Holla at me
just
week
like he
13.
picked the Titans. He picked so now it's wait till
Kicker,
week
kicker. Do
13.
you have the Jets winning another game this year?
Yeah, but week 13, I like Mike McDonald over y'all. I like the Seahawks.
But what do you think the Jets are going to finish? Like 4 and
Hold
13?
on. Buckeye, real quick. So can we see Kicker turn into a two-team guy if the Ravens are out? I'm rooting for the Seattle Seahawks because of Mike McDonald. I need
I mean,
answers.
I think kicker without a period or an explanation point can say fuck the Bills and then have the Bills win in the division. He don't even use commas, periods, or explanation points. He just keeps it moving.
Hey, bro, let me ask y'all a question, though, right? Shout
All
out
right,
my
after
man
that,
Jay Mick down there.
shout out to him. After this, I want to talk
Like,
Jets Patriots. So please hurry.
I mean, hey, that's why I'm in, because I want to talk about the
Yo,
Patriots.
kicker, you
Like,
asking too many questions to be 0-2, man. Like, can I go?
what?
Let the guy who's fake, Leishan, you're fake 2-0. You go. Fake 2-0. You go.
Don't worry, but
I'm gonna
don't
let you
worry,
have that one,
Buckeye.
man.
I'm not gonna.
Hey,
All I'm telling
Oh
hey,
y'all
boy.
is, look, right?
Aren't
Look,
you the same
look,
guy that said the
yeah.
Buffalo wasn't making the playoffs?
Yeah,
Isn't
he
that
had
you?
them
I did
finishing
say
Isn't
that.
last in
that
the
you?
division.
Yo,
He,
kick
he
Yeah, it was
yo,
me.
kick some rocks, all right? Get out of here.
But now
Yo,
let me say something
kicker,
though. Hold up,
kicker.
hold
Is
up.
there a fee that me and my coworkers can pay for you to
hang on,
heckle my
Curtis. I'll
boss on
get
his
you up
way to
here.
his car the same way you heckled that player?
Yep,
I,
a
I
$50 fee.
I will say this: I was at the Ravens club level for an event, and on the wall, Kika, there's a huge picture of you on the wall. They
Oh yeah,
put you into the
that
wallpaper.
that shit probably taken down now.
Nah.
Kicker. Congratulations for making the wall of shame at M&T Bank. I appreciate that. I respect it.
No. See, I ain't even asked my question yet because everybody cut me off. We got a Jets, we got a Dolphin fan in here, and we got a Bills fan as a listener. Shout out my man Vino. I feel like the Patriots might can make a move. Y'all gotta stop sleeping on the
What move
Patriots,
is that?
man. Because I kept telling y'all all they needed was a
All
quarterback.
right. No offense, guys. I got requests. I got to move some people in a minute. Let me get to the hands or whoever wants to talk. I want to get Curtis up here.
My hand
Lee
was up
Sean, go
first.
ahead.
I'll
You
move
you
back
can drop
down.
me,
I'll
Petey.
move back down.
No,
All right.
kicker. Don't move yet. Move when I
Wait,
move.
kicker,
Don't
who did
move
you
yet.
have winning the division before?
Hey, yo.
Who did you
Go
have
ahead, Lee
winning the
Sean.
division?
Anthony, can you hear Lee Sean?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he just didn't give a damn. But
Nah.
anyway, no, it's all good.
Everybody
It's all
wants to
good.
pile
I
on
don't.
kicker, bro.
Yeah, exactly. He was the fucking loudest blowhard for 5 months. Make coming in the Jets commute every day, talking to me. He didn't talk the Ravens much. That was one thing. He didn't really talk his team because we would take a mic and the Bills fans would pack the Ravens up, and he didn't really want to talk about the Ravens. He would just say the Bills have no Super Bowls and blindly just state that we were going to finish last in the division and all this crazy shit. But it only took 2 weeks. Now he has the Bills winning the division. Funny how 2 weeks just flipped the whole fucking spaces on his head, bro. But you had a rough 2 weeks. You about to have a rough month because I have you losing in Dallas, and then week 4 on Sunday Night Football, we are going to beat the brakes. We're going to beat the brakes off the Baltimore Ravens. You hear me? Like, I want
Oh
to
wait, Lee
apologize.
Sean.
Hold on, PD. I got 10
Yeah,
more seconds that I'm going to land. I want
you
to
got it.
apologize in advance to what my defensive line is going to do to that Ravens offensive line. We are going to beat the shit out of you, and I'm going to be there. Whittle going to be there. Sherm going to be there. I'm going to have my whole squad there, and hopefully kick a pull up, meet up. That's going to be fun, bro. I cannot wait to come in your trap, beat the hell out of you, and then head to Houston the week after. So
By the way,
enjoy 0-4, kicker. Hello,
hey Lee Sean, are you Lee Sean? Are you bringing a money or a win to the bank, or both?
both.
There you go.
And
He's not.
I used the F. I said both. I didn't do TH. I used the F. Both.
Wow.
Okay, I'm bringing both to the bank.
Capital B, capital O, capital A, capital F.
All right, let's
Exactly. I'm
get
making a
all
large
right.
withdrawal out
Is
of
an
this.
A in there?
Both.
All right, all right. I
All right,
wasn't
Both.
realizing there's an A.
let's get to Vino. He's a Patriot fan, and then I want to get Curtis in here. Vino, what's up?
What's good with y'all? Good morning, y'all.
Bird, don't do that.
Damn, just like that. I'm just coming and being respectful.
No, it's not. You're good.
But
I let you up. You're good.
about to say, I think this weekend. I told y'all yesterday, but I ended up having to work. It's going to be a tough game this weekend. The fact that now the Patriots have lost their middle linebacker, who's the green dot for the defense, the signal caller, that's a major blow. Kind of does impact how I think this game is going to go, because now we're relying on another guy who's very good as well, Jelani Tavai. We're relying on him to step up in that role, but just the familiarity with the players and the calls, the only thing that I'm worried about. Just another miscommunication like what we had against DK Metcalf can't happen against Aaron Rodgers. There are times you can get away with that shit with the lower tier quarterbacks of the league, but the upper echelon guys are going to make you pay for it, and that's just what it is. So, I mean,
So, Vino, do you think Aaron Rodgers is in the upper echelon still?
100%, bro. Anybody who's sitting up here acting like Aaron Rodgers is washed is literally just hating to hate, bro. You have to respect greatness. I'm never going to say that a top 10, probably top 8 to 7 quarterback of all time is going to be washed, bro. He has to show me for a full season that he's not it. And we're only 2 games in on the year. It's not as long as baseball, but in football, it's a physical marathon. You got to show me that shit over the course of a season, bro. About to say, other than that, Keon White, he's probably going to finish with about a sack and a half. I think that whoever lines up against my boy Vidarian Lowe on the left side is probably going to have a 2-sack game, because Vidarian Lowe might really be the worst left tackle in football. But I still think it's going to be a defensive style game. It's going to go under probably 30 points in total, and whoever wins, it's only going to
No.
be by 3 or 4.
So you're predicting like a 15-13 game?
17-13 is my final score. It doesn't matter. I feel like that's the final. It doesn't matter. You can flip-flop who wins, honestly, bro.
Can I ask you a question? I'm not trolling.
What's up?
I didn't watch any of that game. How did Seattle have 327 yards receiving? What happened?
So what we did was we put Gonzalez on DK Metcalf, and in coverage against Gonzalez only allowed 24 yards. But when we went zone, bro, it was just absolute cook season. It was just terrible. Like, even the touchdown pass we gave up, the 54-yard bomb, that was in zone coverage where they mistaken and thought it was man. So really, that was just more miscommunication. Also, playing so far off the ball and giving a lot of room to physical guys like DK who can create after the catch by themselves, that does not help it at all as well. So just little shit like that we need to clean up. We need to play more press man. And look,
Wait, Vino, real quick. Does it concern you if you're in zone how Aaron Rodgers can pick you apart?
yeah, that's exactly why I'd rather play press man, bro. That's exactly why I'd rather play press man this week. I mean, Gonzalez has a history of success against Wilson. Granted, it was Zach Wilson throwing the ball, because context does matter in these things. But I still believe that Gonzalez can go ahead and limit Wilson to about, I'd probably say 50 yards. And really, we're going to see who else is the killer. If it's Breece Hall, you guys got to show us. I mean, if I'll live with Lazard killing me all day. If that's how we lose the game, it is what it is. But that's all I got for y'all, though. I hope everybody stays healthy. And I'm about to just drop back down to the listeners and go ahead and let y'all do your thing.
Thanks for coming up, Vino.
All right.
Have a good day.
All right, Vino.
Curtis, go ahead.
What's going on, guys? Hey, our boys are warming up, so they got no middle linebacker. Guess who's gonna get the first 3 carries? It's gonna be Braylon Allen, and I hope you can try to tackle my man. It's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good game, but the problem is people keep forgetting we're just waking up on offense. I believe this is the game Mike Williams and Tyler Conklin is gonna go off.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
Yes.
I'm telling you. That's all I gotta say. I'm not gonna rag on nobody. I'm just telling you like it is. We're warming up, and we're gonna see what's what.
It's early, but you
Hey,
forgot Malachi Corley. He's coming this week. Pause.
oh my God, please. Hey Kurt, I'm with you, man. If Mike Williams wake up, it's over.
Curtis, can you hear me?
Yeah, you can
I
hear me?
said, I said, are you under the L right now? Did I hear the
No,
train?
I'm inside. No,
Oh,
I'm
I
inside of
thought you were in New.
Hanging.
All right, I thought you were outside New York.
Buckeye. Why would you mention Malachi Corley?
June, I'm going to do a gentleman's bet. We're going to do the 25 yards. I'll take over.
For Malachi
Yes.
Corley? That's cool.
Wow.
Well, yeah, we
So
go with
he's
that. We
gonna
go with that.
6 times his yards. Did he have a catch in week 1? No, I don't want to.
Yeah,
Listen,
Is
he
that
had a
all-purpose
catch
wait.
yards,
last week.
Buckeye,
No,
or is
yeah,
that?
wait.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
let's not do this though. I just feel like when people make comments, it's not towards CB because I don't want to do that with CB. Because listen, he liked Corley. He's high on him. All right. Everybody has their own favorite player.
I'm Jeremy Ruckert's fan club, so I got my own
Oh, please.
problems.
Well, tell him. That's June too.
That's me all day. He know that. Malachi Corley is it.
Curtis, are you still on the camp of F. Reddick? Oh, he left. I don't think Reddick's going to play until London.
And
If he
Petey's is
does.
Tariq Cohen. We got to keep reminding Petey.
Listen, he was a fan favorite. For me, he was a favorite in camp. He's been gone, man.
Well, I want him back and get rid of Gibson because I am not on Gibson. Like, I don't
I'm
like
surprised Gibson hasn't gotten any targets or anything.
I just want to, don't take it out of the end zone, man. Get to the 30-yard line and just get off the field.
So do you guys, let's all agree, do you think Braylon Allen needs to see, what do you think it should be with him and Brees? 70-30, more of both of them? Because I don't think they can.
70,
yeah, I don't
30.
think that they can put Brees and Braylon out, 50% of the time. I don't. That's just not, I don't think it's feasible in the offense that they run. But what do I know?
Petey, I think Brees is going to have, maybe not New England, but as soon as Brees has one of his Brees games, everyone's going to stop doing the less Brees thing. It's an emotional thing. People are forgetting how prolific Brees is.
Brees still had a good game this week. I don't care. He had a good game.
Yeah, he's just not getting the yards on the ground the way you want to see, right? He needs that open space. He's a slasher.
Yeah, but that's because they're. I mean, it may not be the only reason, but when they were trying to establish the run in the first quarter, they were going run, pass, and they were predictable. When Braylon Allen came in the game, they were losing, and they sort of spread it out. They spread it out a little bit more. They wanted to have more of an up-tempo offense, and they were pass first, and that's why when they hit him with Braylon when they weren't expecting to run. So everyone was like, "Oh well, they should put Braylon in more." Well, maybe they should actually flip the way that they're running the offense.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm fine with it because, even though people were complaining about it, they wanted to establish the run. They wanted to protect Aaron. That was the best way they thought they'd do it in the first 2 weeks, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do it again.
Yeah. Matty, here's where I get the complaining. And listen, I thought the Jets were going to lose in the fourth quarter, but I just don't care. When it's all said and done, just win. I don't care. This is a division game this week. Just beat New England. That's it. I don't care if it's by 1.
I don't know what anyone expected when we played Tennessee. I said before the Niners game, someone said to me, what do you think? I said, they're going to lose the Niners game. And then I said, going into the Tennessee game, CB asked me this. I said, going into the Tennessee game, they're going to be losing at halftime. Everyone's going to say, fire this guy. The world was coming to an end. And then they were going to barely eke out the game. And the bottom line is that when our quarterback needed to make 2 or 3 throws on 3rd and long or 2nd and long, he did. It's just, these first 2 games they're preseason games, essentially. So they just got to get better and better.
Maddie,
And
I think people are forgetting that. That's a great point, man. Seriously. I know I mess with you a lot about the Mike White stuff, but you just brought up a really good point, man. That is a great point. And I don't even look at it that way, Maddie. It is. It's extended preseason now. There's no preseason games. It's sloppy football. Go ahead, Maddie. Keep going.
it is.
I like what you're
Look,
saying.
this game is a divisional game versus the Patriots, who have owned us. I don't care about the last game. They've owned us. So anyone who's saying before the season that this was going to be an easy win, and I know that was the vast minority. I think the vast majority of Jets fans think that this is going to be a grinded out game. I'm actually shocked that Vegas has this game at 6.5 on the spread. I am shocked. That to me seems way too high. I think the Jets still win this game by like 1 to 3 points. And it's going to be ugly. It's Gerard Mayo is like sort of like, look what they're doing. Look, they're grinding out teams still. So it's a Thursday night game. I always like the home teams on Thursday night, even though I like the Bills last week. But typically I like the home teams. So I do think the Jets are going to win, but it's going to be a really tight game. It's gonna be I do think Mayo is going to really, like someone else was saying, he's going to try to take out Garrett Wilson. They're going to try to eliminate the things that we do really, really well. So I do think Lazard is going to get a lot of targets. Rucker is going to get more targets. I'm also not, everyone wants to hate on Rucker. They said he broke on that route. Like, oh my God, all these crazy Jets Twitter fans. He sucks. He broke on the route. I mean, easy. Easy on the guy. Jesus. He made an amazing block to free Braylon Allen in the 4th quarter. I mean, he fucking sealed that. I think he sealed the linebacker. He sealed the defensive
By
end.
the way, so did John Simpson on that play.
Right, and that's what Rucker does.
Vera Tucker did too.
Yeah, I don't actually think that Rodgers should have been targeting Rucker, to be honest with you, on that play. I don't even think he was that open. He was like covered. So everyone was like, oh, well, if he kept running, oh, Rucker sucks. That was the narrative on that play. But he was covered.
Can't argue, Matty, but he's got to adjust better. But Jeff fans look for any excuse.
PD, can I say something nice about Jeremy Ruckert?
I don't care. Yeah.
As much as I fuck with June about his boy, listen, I was upset that he didn't run the corner route the way, I think it was supposed to be run. Like, again, I'm not in the meeting room. I'm not in the huddle. I have no idea. But I will say, despite not running it to where him and Rodgers could have connected, he did win the route. Like, I'm going to be fair when it's time to be fair. He won the route and had separation. I think it's just how many passes has Rodgers really thrown to Ruckert? So I think it's like, yeah, I wanted to jump on the kid, pause, and kind of give him hell. But at the end of the day, he'll be all right, man. Like, he'll get his couple red zone targets like he should. He'll be all right. Like, I'm not going to kill him for that one route, when he's probably caught all of 20 passes in camp from Rodgers.
You know what? With you saying that, I think Malachi Corley could possibly
don't
make a little bit
switch
of
up
an
now,
impact.
June. Come on.
You're right. Malachi ain't shit.
I ain't going to say that. You guys hear me?
Yes.
On my phone. Switched over.
We got you.
Yeah, see, the thing about this game that scares me is that if Brissett is playing, he's not a mistake-prone quarterback. He's not going to lose the game for the Patriots the way Levis lost the game for the Titans, right? So we're gonna have to win this game, and we're gonna actually have to stop the run. We're gonna actually have to play a really good game in order to beat these guys because Levis gave us that game. It should have been 10-0 or it should have been 14-0, and Sauce should have gotten. I hate to say it, but Sauce should have gotten flagged in the fourth quarter, which would have tied the game up.
Yes.
So we got
Yes, you are
capital L
100%
lucky
right.
to win that game. Even though Rodgers made some
Yes.
incredible throws, we were lucky to win that game. Period. So now we got to go out and actually play a real game and deserve to win.
You are
I'm saying we got to go, but I
100%
mean, like,
correct.
I'm not on. We're not on the team. I don't know.
I know what you mean, Matty. Guys, if you're here, everybody, if you guys could follow Jets Commute on YouTube, please, it'd be appreciated. We're streaming live on YouTube, so if you missed the space or you want to hear. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Is anyone
Yeah,
talking?
we
All right.
got you.
Yeah, I am now.
No.
Go ahead.
So yeah, if you guys can subscribe to YouTube Jets Commute, we would appreciate it. If you want to re-listen to the space, go on there. If you can't get on Twitter for some reason, we are live on YouTube daily. Just wanted to let the space know we'd appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks.
Now, does anyone think that this is an injustice now to us not having Reddick on the team?
I think
I mean,
enough's
with
enough,
the
June.
injuries
Like at
and
this
everything?
point, it's
Yeah,
about posturing and
come on.
ego, and it shouldn't be. At this
Yeah,
point, it's about winning. Like Douglas needs to save his job.
yeah,
Saleh needs to save his job. I don't know if it's Woody being
yeah.
cheap, JD being stubborn. I don't care at this point anymore. Get it done.
Me either.
Just get it
Me
done.
either. You have to, bro. You just lost JJ for the rest
Well,
of the year. Like,
here's what I would do, and again, I'm not in charge, but just tell Douglas, get on the phone, say Hassan, come up. Just get him up there, and he's probably not going to go anyway. But just get him up there, get him on the phone, and get it done. He has to play. I do not think the
that's
Jets can, go very far without Reddick. I don't.
Okay, so when you say get him on the phone, get it done, you mean like a multi-year deal? You would agree to
Well,
that? Like a 3-year extension?
That's where I think this is going to get ugly.
Well, that's
I
why there's
think.
no deal.
Well, I think they are going to have to ante up and give him the $24 million or whatever for the year and pay him with Daniil Hunter.
I don't think that's what's stopping the deal from getting done, though. I think it's the extension component of this.
But Maddie, at this point, though, the relationship is fractured. Like he has to know whether that's what he's seeking or not. He has to know what he's now. At this point, the best case scenario is that you guys can come to some sort of adjusted contract, and he can go out next year and go earn his contract somewhere else. Like at this point, that relationship is fractured, no matter what anybody says publicly.
Is that true, CB? Why do you think that? See, I'm not in the sport. I don't negotiate sports contracts for a living, but I negotiate deals. And to me, it's the relationship component and the vibe is overrated. I think it's all just comes down to money. Do they make the deal he wants or do they not? And it's the 11th hour.
I think that, Maddie, because it's apparent to me, and I'm not casting blame on either one because I don't know. I'm not in the room. Someone lied. Someone was misled. Someone, Joe thought, he'd show up and they'd at least have him in the building to negotiate. Maybe once JFM was traded, he said, all right, cool, I got leverage. I'm just going to sit at home. Or Joe Douglas lied to him and said, hey, we're going to negotiate once you get here. He got there and they were like, yeah, it's not really in the plans right now to extend you. So again, to me, somebody lied. I don't know. You can take whatever side you want. I don't care. Just get this done at this point. Like, it's too much.
agreed. Agreed.
Like you need a pass rusher. Cool, Will had a 3-sack game, whatever. But I don't think he can sustain that level of production, especially without JJ on that side. Ty McKinley is, a first-round bust. Like, let's be honest about it. And yeah, you need a guy like Reddick who can close out games. I'm sorry. At the very least, he helps the rotation, so you get less McKinley, less Clemens, probably. Just add to this rotation or trade him at this point. Like trade him and get some piece that you can use to go get another edge or something. Like you have to make a decision at this point.
CB, this may not get done till London or maybe even the Bills game. I don't think he plays until the Bills or London game, if he does play.
The longer this shit play out, PD, the worse it gets.
Yeah, I would try to get him in by Thursday and get that done so that he can be ready to play in the Denver game. Because I think, you're not going to have as many days to practice before the London game because of the travel. So to me, I think, Joe, swallow your pride. Hassan, come get whatever money they can give you. Because, he stands to lose more money than he was going to make this year. So I think it's time to just get on the phone, figure it out, and, let bygones be bygones.
Nah, but you remember, CB, Joe said he don't want to do it over the phone. You got to come to the facility, which is stupid.
Look, I understood his stance when, again, you had the leverage, you had JJ, you had Will, who you were high on, whatever. But at this point, if you really want to save your job and have the best chance of doing that, you got to get Reddick on the phone, man. Like, you just have to.
I agree, CB. Few shout outs to the listeners. I see Meek. Hope you enjoyed the game. Jim's in here. Vezo, Bill Fawn, our buddy Bill Fawn. What's up? Big Haas, Darren Tewksbury, Yoshi, Ben, the Bills fan. Haven't heard from you in a while. Marco Shepard, Orlando, Mike F, Dev 3.0. Good morning, y'all. If you guys want to come up and talk Patriots week, it used to be a big thing. It is not anymore, but we need to beat. By the way, the Jets have not won in 8 years at home against New England. 8 years. 8. So that's got to come to an end this week.
Oh, Salah's going to be on the chopping block, I think, if they lose. This is a must-win game. I said it before last season. The only game they have to win is they have to beat New England at home, and he did it. And I wanted him canned after that game. This is a must-win game. You have to beat New England at home. This is like if you're Ohio State, you have to beat Michigan. This is how you're judged. This is how you're remembered.
I mean, I still don't think Salah's going to get canned in season, but
this is the one game that I don't think is just another game. I still think they're going to win 10 games no matter what they do this season, but this is not just another game. This is your rival. You have to beat your rival. That has,
I agree,
like you
Matty.
said, that has beat the shit out of you. And I think the team, even though they did win that game, PD, they knew it was like sort of a garbage time game. They know it's a garbage time game.
Yeah, Matty, I'm not going to argue that. For sure. I'm not arguing that. But listen, I'm not taking back a win versus New England anytime, man. No way. And now, beat them. Beat them at home. Get the crowd pumped up. Get to 2-1. You come back against Denver. To me, the Denver game's a trap game. Because everybody's writing off that the Jets should beat Minnesota and London. That's going to be a tough game. I mean, if Jefferson's out, then I think it's a different ball game. But Minnesota's playing well right now.
Very well.
We've seen them start off quick in the past. I got to see that team. Now, what scares me about that team is they got my guy Brian Flores there. I'm a huge Brian Flores fan. I never thought the Dolphins should have fired him, even though I do think McDaniels is still a really good coach. I was a huge Brian Flores fan. I would have loved the Jets to hire him as the coach, even though a lot of the players cried about him. They said he's too mean and all that kind of stuff. But to me, that guy changed the culture, of the Dolphins. You remember when we barely beat the Dolphins at home when they had Brian Flores? I remember thinking to myself, this team is going to be a force for the next 5 years. This is a team I am very worried about. Because it wasn't because they had great players. They didn't have Tyreek Hill. They didn't have the quarterback. They had
Nope.
they had a toughness, an edge about them that you just don't see in Miami. And I will never understand. I think he was canceled, is what he was. You know, he was like a modern day guy who just couldn't fly in today's, you know, culture.
Hey, Matty, to your point, I remember when he told his team, whoever don't want to be here, let me know now. And he ended up trading Minka Fitzpatrick.
That's right. He was too mean. He was just like Vic Fangio. He was too mean. Like all these, you know, he was, you know, he just didn't suit the modern day player, right? And then off he goes. And now he goes to a team that's typically a little soft in Minnesota. And he's the perfect fucking guy to bring in there to go along
Did
with
you
Kevin
hear
O'Connell.
Matty?
Kevin O'Connell's probably like a nice guy who's like, you know, nice guy, you know, gets along, players coach, great play caller. And then you bring in Flores. That is a fucking nasty coaching tandem right there.
Yes,
Matty,
it
did you
is.
hear? I believe Purdy said to him, "Great." He said, "I don't know what exactly he said." He's like, "Great sheen," whatever he was doing against Purdy. So even Purdy shouted out Flores after the game because look, they held. I know San Francisco's decimated by injuries now, but they held them. I mean, that's an impressive win for the. Kevin O'Connell's a really good coach, Matty. I like him a lot.
Very. Come on. Absolutely.
Great coach, great play caller. It'll be interesting to see as defenses adjust to them. You know, if they can sustain the success. You know, and keep going. We've seen Sam start off really well in the past.
Guys, if you want to join the conversation, please come up. Hexagon, you've been quiet this week, especially after a win. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, PD. I was out Sunday night. I was out at a bar. I was wearing my Jets hat. I was watching the end of that Chiefs Bengals game, and I was sitting there having a burger. And some, you know, and like 3 or 4 people came up to me, and they were like, "Big Jets win! Like, you must be really excited." And I was like, "Yeah, look, a win's a win." And but they look like an average team right now to me.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be too hard on the Jets. You know, I think that
Yeah, Matty, I'd rather they peak later on
yeah,
than right now.
exactly. To CB's point, you don't want your team peaking in September and October. Like, take the small. If you're a Jets fan and you're watching your team, take the small victories of development. I didn't get a chance to watch your game, that's why I'm not commenting. But from what I've heard and saw from clips, it seemed like the offense showed some progress. It seemed like the defense showed some progress, and that's what you take away from the game because it's building blocks. Because this is a marathon, right? So if this progress continues by November and December, they'll be a much better team.
Yeah, I think the Jets are a 10-win team. I think they're, you know, and hopefully they're a wild card team, and hopefully they get better and better, and they could cause some problems in the playoffs. Get hot.
I see a comment from Hector, long suffering Jeff fan. Bring back Darnold when Aaron retires. Yeah, let Hector. I'm not being serious here. Yeah, let's put Sam Darnold with Nathaniel Hackett. Let's see how that works.
I mean, let's be honest. Once Aaron's gone, so is Hackett.
Yeah, but let's say if the Jets win with Rodgers, just say now win. I don't know if it's a Super Bowl, but they have 2 straight winning seasons, and Rodgers is gone. You know, Salah's the coach.
Yes, and Hackett will have their job for one more year, and then he's gone.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
There's no way that you keep Hackett for more than 1 year after Aaron retires.
Yeah, well, I don't think they would. I just don't want Hackett to be.
He won't be. It'll just be for 1 year. It'll be for 1 year, obviously, but he'll be gone after that.
Listen up. Are you concerned with all the injuries mounting up in you know, Kansas City?
Yeah, I'm not concerned. Um, Andy Reid. I've seen Andy Reid for 10 years be able to weather the storm. When it comes to injury, he's only missed the playoffs in Kansas City. I think actually he's been here 13 years. He's only missed the playoffs 1 year. So for me, it's just about getting to the playoffs, getting these guys back, and being uh, hopefully closer to healthy by the time the real tournament starts and the playoffs start. But I think we can weather the storm. I mean, we won 11 games with an atrocious offense last year. So if we can get to 10 to 11, 12 games, I'm good personally.
That's fair. June, who were you most impressed with on Sunday?
Braylon, my boy.
Yeah, he had a really good game.
He's a beast, man. He's a
What
beast.
was he, the youngest NFL player since
Youngest player ever.
34 or something to score a
Yep.
touchdown? That's crazy, man. Do you know it's been 30 years since the Jets had two running backs with I don't know if it's touchdowns or receiving in 30 years. I believe it was Richie Anderson and somebody else, Adrian Morrell or somebody, or Johnny Johnson.
Johnny
That's crazy,
Johnson.
man. 30. The Jets have never been an offensive team.
No. Well, for that 1 year, 98, 99.
Yeah, that was more of a. I mean, Parcells was
That
just.
was all
Yep.
around. Yeah, that was defense. It's Charlie Weiss and Bill Belichick.
I feel like there's more. When the Jets win, everybody wants to talk. When they lose, it's like, because we're so used to losing. It's bad, man. It is. It's just like, man, it's so much negativity all the time. And now the Jets win and folks don't have a lot to say.
I'll tell you. I'll
Yeah,
tell you what.
I, I,
I've never seen a quarterback get the shit kicked out of him like Caleb Williams did the other night.
Like who?
Caleb Williams. I've never seen a quarterback get the shit kicked out of him
Yeah.
like that guy did.
Yeah.
The worst part too, Matty, is if you listen to this app, he sucks and he's, it's already over and he was a fucking bust already, and it's like, I don't understand how you expect a rookie getting hit that much to fucking be good
But
in the second game of his career. But
this is why the offensive line, like they added all those weapons, and everyone said, "Oh, well, you give Caleb all the weapons. You give him the DJ Moore. You give him the Roma Dunze. You give him the Keelan Allen, right?" And everyone's like, "Oh, that he's perfectly positioned for success." One problem: the line's not protecting him.
it's some of it is Caleb is holding on to the ball too long.
I think that's what it is too. He's holding the ball a little bit too long.
All right, but the guy, it's his second game in the NFL, guys.
No, I'm super impressed by his
I
toughness.
definitely don't expect to see I don't see a rookie, like, I don't expect a rookie to be quick and the speed of the game doesn't affect him right off the jump. But
True.
I think what the Bengals did with Burrow makes people think you could copy that, or like that's a good plan. And let's be real, Burrow's been out 2 of the last 4 years, so I don't think that's a great plan.
No, I agree with Dale, man. It's
Excellent point, Dale.
unfortunate because you can see the talent that Williams has, and I think it would have been better for Williams to sit, learn the game for a year, or sit at least half the year and then come in. I mean, getting them beat up like he got beat up on Sunday, I just don't see how that helps him.
You know what? Listen up to your point. I've always been a strong believer in letting a rookie sit and fix that line before you put him out there, because you can't fairly assess a quarterback if he's running for his life.
Yeah,
And
I
but
agree, man.
and the Bears have been competitive. You know, I'll give them that. You know, to me. Listen up. Let me just add. I know you're a Chiefs fan, but do you see how much parity there is now in the NFL? Like anybody can win at any week, man. It's insane. Like nobody probably had Arizona destroying the Rams. You know, like every week it's something different. NFL is just. I love the NFL, man.
Hey, Petey, something else too.
PD, I
That
had Arizona destroying the Rams.
No, you did,
hey,
Dale.
Petey,
Yeah, I actually did.
something
Bro, I
else,
told everyone after our game that they were good, man.
something else that no one's talking about. Passing yards are down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People are running the ball more for
Quarterbacks,
real.
quarterbacks aren't even passing for 200 yards now. Or they're barely
What
making 200
guys?
yards.
What do you think that is? People in the speaker role.
It's defenses. They're playing these zone defenses, uh, keeping everything in front of them, making a lot of passes, contested catch opportunities. And one, if you're going to play these zone defenses, the counter to that is to run the ball. So a lot of teams are choosing to try to run these defenses out of their zone coverage. But it's difficult, man. And also quarterback play has been terrible to me.
Hmm.
I mean, there have been some bad quarterback performances around the league in the first 2 weeks.
PD, when we played the Cardinals, most people don't know because I mean, I don't expect them to know, but we had 20, 30-mile-an-hour wind. Some of them plays you see Murray make where he ended up hitting the ball downfield when he was scrambling, those were there in our game. And I think the biggest thing that stopped it was the wind. I think it went both ways because I don't think we took many deep shots in that game because of the wind. But I saw an avenue where Murray could have hit big plays out of how well he was scrambling. And I came out of that game not thinking, I don't think we played bad.
Did we just lose Dale?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
I
just
think we
lost.
lost them. But one thing about the Cardinals and Rams game, the Rams are decimated injury wise.
Yep.
So I actually thought the Rams
Yep.
would get beat in that game once I saw before the game that they had like a ton of key players and starters out the game.
Yep.
Yeah, I
There's
guess what I
Dale.
was saying, Pete, is I came out of that game not thinking that, we didn't play well or that was a fluky game. I came out of that game thinking Arizona was a good
Yeah, the
team.
Jets got to go to Arizona too, and they got to go to Arizona. So to me, that's not a cupcake walk. Jay Green, go ahead, and then Jim. I want to get you guys in the combo.
You know,
Good, Jay.
what I think is a lot of quarterbacks not getting a lot of repetition with the wide receivers, live action, and also I think a lot of teams, the offensive lines, they don't cohere. Remember that you had to play together with live games. So running game is the best way to get the offensive line together. I guess that's what a lot of teams are doing.
Good point. I just think there's not a lot of right. I mean, listen, we're going to see now in the future, there's going to be joint practices all the time. Nobody's going to play in the preseason. It's always the roster bubble and the second guys that string. Maybe the first teamers play a series or two. It's not going to get any better in the preseason. And the NFL is going to go to 18 games soon, regular season.
Very soon.
Jim, go ahead. Good morning.
What up, my man? What's
Good
good,
morning,
Jim?
motherfuckers. What's up, June? Petey.
What's
What's
up?
up?
What's up, Jim?
Yeah, to answer that question, I think what the other guy just said. First of all, you usually get like 5 to 6, not 5 to 6, maybe like 4 or 5 rookie quarterbacks that have to play right away because no one sits anymore, and there's no preseason for these guys. So again, first 3 or 4 weeks is like the preseason basically. I think week 4 or 5 you'll see the offenses ramp up. Passing is going to be down the first couple weeks, especially when you got quarterbacks in new systems, rookie quarterbacks,
and guys not playing in the preseason. But look at the Jets offense. The Jets offense is nowhere near what it's going to be. You could probably. I mean, I don't watch. I can't watch every game like I watch the Jets. Obviously, but passing is going to be
Right.
down probably in general the first month of these seasons, especially when you go to when they go to an 18 game season. Like it's just that's just what it's going to be. But week 4 or 5, everything's going to get ramped up when everybody's clicking and everybody's on the same page, and you can run your full playbook.
Hey, Jim, I did,
What's
and
up?
Dale, by the way, Dale, I did not, I just saw this. It's not because of Buffalo, but in 1972, listen to this stat. The Jets won 41-24 against the Bills. Joe Namath was 5 of 14 for 113 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. John Riggins, 26 rushes, 125 yards, 1 touchdown. Emerson Boozer, 13 for 50 with 2 touchdowns. Eddie Bell, 2 for 43. And the Jets defense had 4 sacks and 4 interceptions. It's crazy how football has changed, man. Crazy. Sorry for that, but shout out to New York Jets history. That account, if you want to follow a good account, whoever runs that account posts some good stuff daily about Jets history. Jim, you here?
Yeah, what's up?
No, so all right, I just saw another thing too. Aaron Rodgers, so far his QBR is 92.2 for the first
Yeah.
2 games. So we would have signed up. I mean, I know Rodgers isn't, he's 31 for 51 with 3 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Yeah.
So, would you have signed up for that? I've been preaching all off season about the 60% of Rodgers. Let's see if it comes through of his
Well, like
last year in
we've
Green
been.
Bay.
I got no fear about this guy producing, none. We've always said his arm is good, his mind is good. Realize like we've been on the road for 2 games. I
Yep.
can count on one hand. I can count on one hand full start penalties. No holds, no full starts. Those are drive killers. This guy, we had a free play touchdown. When do you see that? We got this guy checking at the line. I mean, come on. The guy is elite.
Yo, Jim, I forget
You
who.
can't. That's part of quarterbacking. I mean, my
Yes,
God, I'm not worried
Jim.
about anything.
Somebody.
I think I told. I think I told. 1 second, Pete. I think I told
No,
Mark.
no problem.
Um, like a bold take. I'm like the Jets gonna equal their offensive scoring touchdowns by week 6, which they probably will.
Yeah, Jim. They have 5 touchdowns already.
Yeah.
What in 11? They had 11 all last year passing touchdowns. June,
Yeah.
I
Well,
think
I think they
you
had
said it too
16
yesterday.
offensive touchdowns.
Yep.
16 offensive touchdowns the whole year.
Jim, I
Yep.
forget who brought this up in a space yesterday, but it was somebody. And somebody brought up about Lazard raising his hand up, that he was open.
Yeah.
And
Well, he overthrew him. But I
correct,
mean,
but
listen, all
but
these
they
guys do that.
yeah, they also did that. When's the last time the Jets had a guy like that?
Yeah.
They
He
did it.
did that on
Yeah,
the free play too, and he hit him. You know
correct.
what I
I
mean?
was just bringing that up. So that's 2 weeks in a row. There was a free guy.
Yeah. Yeah, like
Jim,
bro,
Jim,
what he can bring to the table is invaluable. That's what we're saying. Like everybody's worried about. Again, I always said all these other fans and these other. I'm like, you better hope he falls off a cliff, but he didn't. Like I said, the Achilles is right. Now it's just getting shaken off the rust by not playing in the preseason and trusting these guys. It seems like he only trusts a couple guys right now, but I think week 4 or 5, you're gonna see the tight ends involved, Corley involved, Mike Williams when he's 100% healthy. That guy's not 100% yet. I mean, I have no fear of this offense scoring points. None. The offensive line is going to get better if they stay healthy and they gel together. Oh my God. I got no worries. What this guy brings mind wise is invaluable. Again, once heard Tom Brady. They like when he's up in age, they said, you're gonna retire. He's like, why would I retire? I have the answers to the test. I mean, this guy goes to the line, he has the answers to the test. How do you beat that? I mean, my God, how many quarterbacks do you trust to do that? And we were on the road 2 games. on the road, no full starts with a whole new offensive line. This guy's putting everybody in the right protection.
Jim, doesn't it look like, and hear me out here, Jim, I'll be quick. First of all, those are great points. Jim, we have a leader running the offense now. That's the point. You see how they command respect. You see what I know every quarterback uses their hands when they're
Yeah.
calling out the plays in the huddle, but you don't think these guys are like, man, I'm fucking playing for Aaron Rodgers. By the
Yeah,
way,
100%.
Jim,
100%.
shout out to Tyron Smith, man. He's been on that Braylon Allen touchdown. Go look at it. He's on the opposite side, and he moved his guy at least 5 yards down the field. If you guys watch that replay,
You know
5 yards.
They're just gonna get better. They're just gonna get better. They didn't play. They're just gonna get better, and that's not just for the Jets. That's for other teams that didn't play in the preseason. But the Jets don't have fucking slapstick guys they brought in. They brought in Tyrone Smith he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. Like if they stay healthy, and again, it's not just a leader on offense. It's the guy. Again, he's one of the best. He's not just a
Yep.
leader, and there's a bunch of leaders out there.
Jim,
It's
Tyron Smith's
awesome
got
to
to
watch.
He's got to stay healthy though. We need Tyron Smith on
Yeah,
that field.
100%. But you know what? Like the longer Fashanu can be on the bench and just watch. I mean, if I hope he never has to play this year, but the longer he stays there, that means Tyrone Smith is healthy, and he just learns. That's it, bro. It's a pleasure to watch. I mean, we haven't seen this. I guess I could probably say since like Pennington that had a guy that can step up at the line and can dissect the defense. Like Pennington didn't have the arm, obviously, but I trusted Pennington to read a defense with the best of them. I love Pennington.
Yes, you Me too.
So they're just going to get better. I have no worries about the offense clicking. None. By game 4 or 5, if they're all healthy, you're going to see all these guys getting incorporated into the offense. It'll build trust.
Jim,
Poorly, tight ends.
real
What's up?
quick, Jim, don't you think, and keep going because you're bringing up good points. Good to hear from you. The crowd will be behind them now for 2 games. We don't have to worry about crowd noise. There's not going to be an influx of Patriot and Bronco fans there.
Yeah.
We may have a home field advantage finally.
Yeah, 100%. But 100%. And this is what I love about Rodgers. Like any game, I don't care if it's on the road, I don't care if it's in cold weather, rain, snowstorms. The guy has played in it and won in it, and you know what I mean. I have no worries about my quarterback going toe to toe with another quarterback. Not one worry. It's unbelievable. When you think about Colts fans and like the Chiefs fans now and the Patriots fans to have a quarterback like that for fucking 20 years. Green Bay fans when they had Rodgers for all that time. You realize how fucking lucky you are to have a guy like that? I know he only brought 1 Super Bowl, but it obviously shows that winning a Super Bowl is hard. Guys like Breeze, when you have a quarterback like that you don't have to worry about him. He can go toe to toe with anybody in any weather and like on the road. And I'm confident this guy is just gonna. He's awesome. It's fucking unbelievable to watch it. I hope we get 2 years of him. I really do. Like we got robbed last year of what this guy could bring. So hopefully he's healthy all this year, and he gives us one more year next year. But it's unbelievable to watch the guy. It really is. I always loved him because he's a prick, and he got that prick in him. I always liked him for that. But man, to have a guy like that as your quarterback, an elite guy, man, it's fucking unbelievable. As a fan base, I would never boo the guy. I heard
No,
Eagles
Jim.
fans booing. I heard Eagles fans booing yesterday. With the. I don't think I would ever boo that team. They gave you a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts is legit. How do you boo a team like that when they're giving you a Super Bowl win?
Listen, I think it would have Jim stay here because I got a question for you, but I want to get Jay Green and listen up back in. I got one thing I want to say, but Jay Green, go ahead, then listen up.
You guys, we're number 5 in ranking in offensive line right now.
No, it doesn't shock me.
That's good.
No,
that's good.
Listen, I will give the Jets this. Okay, I think their run blocking because they changed whatever zone they changed this year a little bit. I will give them time for that, but the Jets' pass protection so far has been really good. So
Wonderful. Wonderful.
good point, Jay. I will, listen. The running game if the running game gets going, Aaron Rodgers will get better because then, if you have Brees, listen, guys, we talked about it in this space. CB and I, other people brought it up, not just me, about the two running back sets with Braylon Allen and Brees Hall. You flank Brees Hall out, and they think you're going to throw it to him, and you could catch Braylon. Look at what happened with Rodgers, that little flick for a touchdown. That's getting creative. To me, you can't do that with an inexperienced quarterback. So, listen up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you guys saw this Sunday that Rodgers gives you a chance to win. And in the NFL, that's all you can ask for. I think that in the past, that's a game you would have lost. And
Absolutely.
if you were a Jets fan and not watching Will Levis and Aaron Rodgers and thinking, wow, we used to be the Titans when Will Levis is throwing crazy fumbles and just idiotic things on the field. That was you guys the last several years. Now you see with Rodgers that once you have competent QB play, hey, the sky's the limit in terms of winning any game. Coming
Listen up.
back.
Listen up to that point, too. I had a guy on yesterday, Mike Herndon, who covers the Titans, and I asked him this specifically. I said, did you expect this from Aaron Rodgers? And he said when the game was tied, he expected Aaron Rodgers to come through because it's Aaron Rodgers. When the game was tied, to me, there's no way. I don't think the Jets score a touchdown, and I hate bringing him up. You know who. So I think Rodgers is going to get better. He's getting more, he's getting more excited. You even saw him on the Garrett Wilson play, clapping his hands and pumping his fist. You don't think that guy wants to win still? Jim, what I wanted to tell you before was now that the crowd's on our side, we have an advantage now on defense. Now we have noise, and hopefully we can, cause disruption with the 12th man. Jet fans need to really,
Well, listen, Jet fans are always there. We just haven't had shit to fucking cheer about. But you know what I mean? Like, and again, we still haven't seen this team with a 10-point lead, a 14-point lead, where we can really just fucking open things up, offensively, and fucking go for the kill. And we can go for the kill defensively. Jet fans, listen, Jet fans always there. When you fucking garbage, the fucking past whatever years, you can't blame people for not being there or whatever. But the fans that are there, and there's plenty of them. I mean, you're one of them that has season tickets that are always there, fucking ready to root for the team. But I mean, when we're down fucking 10 at halftime, and you have no shot on coming back, that's fucking brutal. Now you always have a shot. No one's leaving games now. No one's leaving games down 10 with Aaron Rodgers coming out.
That's a great point because
Yep.
when you have a great quarterback, no lead is insurmountable. And I can tell you that as a Chiefs fan, and you guys are going to see that this year. Down 10 points. I didn't know you were down 10 points at halftime. I did see the highlights of Aaron
No,
Rodgers. So,
listen up. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. We were
I was just
down
giving an
10.
example. We
No,
weren't
yeah,
down.
that was an example.
it's all right. We were down 10-7, but I know what
I'm
you're
just saying, just in general, the Jets are always down. But and listen up. You said competent quarterback play. This is beyond competent. Like we don't have competent quarterback play. That's how much better this guy. Like it's elite. The guy has an elite mind and elite arm.
Yep.
So that
Listen up.
that
Did you
makes it
see
even
the
better.
to that point, Jim, too? Listen up. Did you see the throw he threw to Mike Williams on the sideline? I don't know if you did.
No, I didn't see that one. No.
First of all, if you look from the angle that they showed it, not where the end zone side, but the side that Rodgers is throwing it to, there was no room. And then when you see it from the other side, where Mike Williams is in front of the receiver, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was a perfectly placed ball, man. Like if somebody could, send me that link or put the catch up in the Jumbotron, it'd be
Well,
cool to watch.
you want to know what's funny too? Like we have to get used to as Jet fans when it was 3rd and 1, and he threw that that deep pass to Garrett Wilson. I'm not used to that. 3rd and 1, I'm like, just get the first down and fucking keep the
Me
drive
too,
going.
Jim.
This
Me
guy's
too.
going for shots. I'm fucking, my heart's in my throat. But now we have a real quarterback that can take advantage of mismatches and knows, like I said, everything that's going on. I'm not used to that shit. I'm fucking screaming at the TV like, what the fuck? 3rd and 16 or 3rd and 15, he's throwing a 19-yard, jump ball to Mike Williams. We don't see that shit. So
Correct.
I have to start watching, as this is what we do now with the legit quarterback. We can actually
And,
go
and
for
it's
the kill, and we're gonna take shots.
what you do with Mike Williams. That's Mike Williams' game.
Yeah, but I'm
So
saying he's not 100% yet. But I'm just saying we're not used to watching that shit.
no,
On
I get your point. I'm just adding on to your point that it's good that Rodgers is doing this now because he's trying to work on the chemistry and timing with Mike Williams in
Yep.
order to do that later in the season. And that's how Jets fans have to view the football you're watching. When you're on a winning team, a team that actually has a chance to succeed in the playoffs, uh, especially with the preseason being what it is today. A
Yeah,
lot of these things are growth and development for later in the season, and so it's great that
exactly.
Rodgers is actually trusting Mike on a 3rd and 1 on a deep pass
Yeah.
because in December, if you guys are playing for the division with the Bills, uh, you may need that play to win a game, right? So it's great.
Yeah. I mean, like I
Oh,
said, I don't know
Jim,
how many Jet fans are
Jim,
watching.
look in the real quick, Jim. I'm sorry because this is a good combo, and then I want to get to Vince. Guys, I wish we could play this live and just show this, but look in the jumbotron, play it, and watch the second replay. It's a 9-second clip or whatever it is. Watch how accurate this throw is. It's an incredible throw,
Yeah. Well,
and this guy is fucking 40 years old,
yeah.
guys.
That's what you get with this guy. Like I said, how I like to know how many Jet fans in the room on that 3rd and 1, and he's fucking launching that 25 yards. Like you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I said, I'm not used to seeing
yeah,
that.
and listen up. It was 2nd and 16, to be fair, that throw. So if you guys, I wish we could play it, but to me, look at that throw. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, that's a great throw, but it's also a play that Williams used to do with Herbert a lot too.
oh yeah,
So it's great. If you're a Jets fan, it's good that you're starting to see them being able to take advantage of Mike Williams' strength as a player, and he's actually making the play. That's the key. Like that's vintage Mike Williams right there.
Like
yep,
Mike Williams is going to be a factor. He just got to get his legs under him. He might not be a full contributor until like week 15. But if you give me 2 of those plays a game, I'll fucking take it. If you're going to convert shit like that,
all right.
the guy's not 100%. But like I said, by week 4 or 5, you'll be seeing the tight ends incorporated. Corley, I think it's you're going to see the offense just hit on all cylinders. They're not even close to that yet.
Agreed. Speaking of converting, let's convert to Vincent to this conversation. Vince, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Something that I was thinking about too when it comes to when you guys are talking about Rodgers is that, and that's something that shouldn't be overstated, is that Rodgers knows how to get penalties and he knows how to work the officials, and I think that actually goes and it means something. I mean, when you look around the league, there are certain quarterbacks that are protected more than others. One, because of who they are, and two, because of the way they play, and they draw teams into penalties and get extra yards, etc. We saw it a couple times. Last week against the Titans, where we drew a couple penalties. I think there was one on 3rd down and long that we drew a automatic first down. I mean, you go to a stat that Patrick Mahomes has the most interceptions that were negated because of a penalty since he came into the league. He leads the league in first downs on picks, and I think that's because of two reasons. I mean, we saw it. We saw it last week too. Is that certain players will be given the benefit of the doubt, both because of again who they are and the way they play, and they force defenses to making mistakes, putting a ball in a dangerous spot. Is one thing, but then they also have the ability to put the ball in a place where if your receiver can't get it, the only way that the defender can get it is if he makes a penalty. So I think that's important too. Is that that's going to help us win games as well.
Agreed. Joe, you came up. Vince, we're going to close in like 10 minutes, but I got a quick question for you after Joe. Go ahead, Joe. What's up?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Hey, I need some good energy, some good positive vibes, man, from you. What's
Well,
up?
it's kind of hard that I got every fucking Falcons fan on my phone texting me you like that. At the current moment, how definitely the Philadelphia Eagles wet the bed last night. I'm kind of mad about that.
Well, Joe, can I ask you a
What
question? Do you like
what question do you have for me, Joe? What question do you have for me, Joe?
do you
No,
like
I
that?
hated
Do
it.
you
Hated it.
you
Can't
sure
couldn't
you
stand it.
you
That
don't
is
like?
kind of funny. I got it. I got that.
Couldn't stand it, June. Couldn't
That's
stand
kind
it.
of funny.
Couldn't stand it. People up here walk around my crib with their chest out and shit, talking about, yeah, what happened to 0-5, Joe? What happened to 0-5, Joe? Fuck. Some bullshit. But other than that, man, I missed the whole conversation. Too busy getting kicked out of Tina spaces because they said I'm slandering the Falcons too much. But it is what it is. How y'all, PD? How you feel about Thursday, man? You feeling good?
I mean, yeah, I think it's going to be a grinded out AFC East game. No division
Yeah,
game is easy. I don't care, and
right,
especially
right,
with
right.
New England, we
Yeah.
have to win this game. Like
Well,
we have to beat New England. We've
right.
lost for 8 straight years at home. It's time to win.
Would it be crazy? Like I see, well, I don't know if y'all watched the game last night, and y'all seen
Yeah.
Bryce Huff
I
or the
watched
lack thereof. Uh, can we get him back? Because he was in our system doing God's work, and he in their system doing shit. Like,
Once again, it's all about the system that you put the player in.
man,
He works for our system, but he doesn't work for them.
June, here's my thing. I told everybody, y'all gave away Bryce Huff. We made him. We made it.
Yeah.
He came out the New York Jets.
Just like Jamal Adams. Same exact thing as Jamal Adams.
Dog, he came out the lab of white cotton, dog. This ain't no joke. He only works in one
Hey,
system.
Joe, tell me what the fuck we got to do to make that happen, bro. I'll fucking fly over there with you, bro. I'll fly with you, bro. Let's
Yo,
do it,
what's
man.
crazy? Hold on, guys. What's crazy is let me get after Fly. You've been a good friend for years now on the app. Shout out to you. The crazy fact that Eagles fans are acting like Jeff fans. They're completely out on Bryce Huff after 2 games. Two
But
games.
Petey, I seen him in the field like a linebacker. He wasn't even on the lines the majority of the time.
Joe, he was getting eaten up by tight ends in the fucking
Man,
run game, bro. I'm
boy,
done, bro.
I was like, hey, yo, that can't be it. He played just like his new number, like a zero.
Oh, thanks, Joe. Thanks for that,
Non-existent. Non-existent. You know what else he did? He had a stat line. I looked at the stat line, and his stat line looked just like the number on his back of his jersey.
bro. He has
Which is
one.
zero.
Zero. Didn't
He
even
has
say
one.
Petey. Didn't even show up on the stat line. I'm
He
like,
has
damn,
Well,
where he
let's
at?
not. All right, Joe. Let's not act like you're a Falcon fan, though. Here, right?
Look,
Yeah,
look,
tell him
look, look.
again. Tell him again,
All
Petey.
right.
Look, man, I'm just
Tell him.
saying. I'm just saying. How can we get Bryce Huff back in the wide now?
I
Let me
can't
know.
be
I'm ready.
clamoring. I don't know yet. I'm not ready. I'd
How
rather
can
have
we get him
Reddick.
back in the wide now? Hassan, we can trade Hassan back. Hey, you can have him back.
Speaking
Let's
of
give him Scott back. You can
I'm
have him
down,
back.
Joe.
No
I'm
way.
down, Joe. Let's do it.
Joe,
I
look at
would
all the
not trade.
energy
No
you
way.
bring to this space, Joe. Shout out to you.
No.
First of all,
No
I
way.
think Joe is
No
one
way.
of the most positive people in life on here. Joe, shout out to you. If you're down in the dumps and you want to feel better, talk to Joe. because Joe will fucking give you motivation. This you
Joe, my football
that's
team
debatable.
is
nah,
shit.
you
I
laugh
feel
and
like
every
shit
yo,
today.
you're
Joe, what's the number to call you, Joe?
And that's not Joe and Clark, because if you fucking said it, you talk to Joe and Clark.
all right.
You
Well,
yourself a
Nah, I'm
fucking
definitely
bridge.
not Joe Clark.
let's
Yo,
let's
Yeah.
keep
I
throwing
spoke to
Clark's
Joe
name
Clark
out
and
of this.
Joe Clark's face, dog.
Yeah.
I just left. I said, you know what?
Yo,
You're down in the dumps. You get that Joe, you're gonna fucking jump off the bridge.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Well,
get
let
the
me just
right
write
Joe.
that down.
I
Joe,
mean,
not
I'm
Joe
telling you.
and Clark. All
Yeah,
right, got it.
not Joe and Clark.
just,
Not Joe and Clark. I might
just,
make that.
just don't call this Joe during Atlanta games because for some
Wow,
reason
Joe. Why, Joe?
he
Yeah,
might
he
not
doesn't. He
have
doesn't
time
like
to
that.
answer the phone.
I hate that.
All right. Let's keep Joe's name out of this.
It's bullshit, bro.
Yeah,
Everybody talking to be spicy and shit today.
Fucking Falcons
oh,
fans acting like they won
I
the
got
Super
called a
Bowl, man.
bitch today. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. I get called a bitch. It's like, damn.
well, look, yeah, Joe. Since you left the Falcons and came to the Jets, they're not gonna like you anymore.
I
You
don't
know.
like them. That's why I left.
All right.
That's why I left. And they hate me. I've been trolling them for 25
Mhm.
years.
All right.
Telling them
Let's
they ain't doing shit. They ain't gonna be shit. They ain't
Wait
never
a
gonna
minute,
be
Joe.
shit.
On your damn bio says you've been a Jet fan since '98.
98, sir. 98. And still counting. Still counting.
Wait. 98 and 25. It don't add up.
Look, man. Look, I got my GED. I didn't finish high school. I dropped out.
That's that's why I fucking asked him,
June,
June.
you know
That's
how to
why I
It's
asked
count
him.
long
years,
enough,
man.
June.
You can't start
He's
something like
been
that.
through this shit enough. It's long enough.
all right. Hold on,
Let's
guys.
not do a math test here.
Yeah.
It's long.
Kids
It's
don't know
long
no
enough
better down here.
for
We're
I was
gonna.
one of them
All
delinquents.
right. I
You
want to
know,
hear
try
from
to go to
Mark
Count
and
Academy,
Hexagon,
man.
and then we got to close.
Another quarter listen to here.
Morning, Mark.
I'm having technical difficulties this morning with an
Oh,
internet outage.
Oh
But
all
man.
right. Yeah.
about the Patriots, very quickly, against Tennessee, listen, after San Fran, where the Jets got gashed in the run game, they made adjustments in the Tennessee game. And if you subtract out the quarterback scrambles, like that stuff, they actually held them to under 100 yards on the ground. So, and you know that Bill Callahan knows what he's doing. I know it's a young line, but I mean, they can coach those guys up. So I'm very curious to see if they have fixed this issue heading into New England, because you know for a fact with Ramondre Stevenson, they're going to try to get the Jets on the ground. It's going to be an important part of their strategy. So I'm very curious to see on a short week what that looks like. And I'm also very excited to see the Jets deploy a two-back set again, and not just 21 personnel, but 22, because I think they have a linebacker injury, I think, a key linebacker injury heading into this game. And the Jets, like this two-back set, could stress linebackers a lot. So I'm very interested to
Yeah, Mark.
see.
Well,
I'll be
Mark,
watching that.
I brought that up too. Like you put Brees Hall in motion and flank him out, or just put him in motion in the backfield. The offense is going to key to that. And then look at what happened. This guy, Braylon Allen snuck out for the touchdown, on that little flip by Rodgers. And, look, it worked. Good point, Mark. I didn't mean to just jump in there, Mark, but we got to close soon, and I want to hear Hexagon. Guys, real quick, again, if you could subscribe to Jets Commute on YouTube. We're streaming live on YouTube. If you want to hear the recording of the space, it'll be on YouTube. We'd appreciate it if you could subscribe. That's Jets Commute on YouTube. Thank you. Hexagon, close us out.
Ew, PD. Yeah, I heard you talking to me, PD. I sometimes I can't talk, man. I want to, but I can't, But I don't know, man. I'm not overly hyped. Like, all right, we beat Tennessee. I'm like, all right, yeah, we were supposed to beat them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still thinking like I was still upset about the San Fran defensive game, and then so I was my head was on our defense that whole game, to be honest. Like, I'm not really worried about our offense. Like everybody's saying, it seems like the offense is gonna be gelling. I'm super confident in Rodgers, that he's gonna find the right receiver. He's gonna pick the right place. So I'm really not worried about our offense at all. I think our offensive line is keeping them up, and it's going to keep them up. So that's all pluses. The negatives for me still on the defense, man. I'm really worried. You know, two of our top three corners might be out this game. Our middle linebacker is hurt. He's not playing. He looks like he's just he looks like maybe the age might be finally catching up to him. Just because when he went out, the defense just looks so much faster getting to the ball. So I'm worried about our defense. Again, the defensive line in the middle, my man, I guess he's been double teamed because I haven't even heard his name being called, in that Tennessee game. I didn't hear his name being called a lot. So I'm just worried that now our offense is going to start gelling and our offense is going to start clicking, and we're going to start averaging, 25 to 30 points a game. But now our defense is not going to allow that offense to be on the field as much, and our defense is going to be the one that's going to kind of hold us back. They're not going to make the the defense. Mark was saying that we might, he said that we kept them under 100, but to me that's still, they were close to 100. I think they went over 100 with one of the wide receivers, on an end around turn, and then you add in, again, the quarterback's rush. It was close to 150 yards again. Like, I still don't see that was resolved. I don't know what Mark sees. So I'm really
I'm
worried about our
subtracting
defense.
the quarterback samples, Hex.
Yeah, I just think that, we're gonna start averaging 25. Can we win blowouts? Because I think that, can we win in shootouts? Because I
Well, we
think
have
that
a chance now.
unfortunately
We
that's
do
gonna
have a
be, yeah.
Hexican. We have a chance. I'm sorry to cut you off. We're up against the hour.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah,
We
we
have
have
a
a chance. We
chance
have a
now. We
chance.
have
You're
a
right.
quarterback, so I don't care if he's 40 years old. We have a quarterback.
But are
Mark,
you worried about our corners that they're hurt? There's 2 or 3 of our corners are hurt right now.
no, not yet.
Now,
I think the
I
Jets
mean,
the Jets are deep at defense. So,
yeah, we
Can I
got we
can I
got deep. We
can
deep
I
in depth.
quickly say one thing
yeah,
on this
Vince,
point?
I got like 30 seconds. I have to close. Go ahead.
I just think that, and I understand where Mark's coming from. I just disagree on the sense of, I think you have to include the quarterback runs. I mean, I really do. It's a big part of today's NFL, and I understand this difference of a design quarterback run and a kind of a broken play. But you saw last night with Jalen Hurns. I mean, that his running ability was a huge part of that offense. So I think that has to be a factor when it comes to rushing yards, because that's the way the NFL is really going to work. Jacoby Brissett can move. Josh Allen in a couple weeks can move. You need to start planning for quarterback runs. So if you start to say, the running back only had 50 yards, but the quarterback ends up with 110 of them, it's still going to be an issue if you're giving up over a certain amount of yards to running quarterbacks.
I like Will McDonald as the QB spy.
Yeah, guys, unfortunately, I got to close. Thank you, June, Mark, Buckeye, CB for helping.
Fuck you, June.
Thanks, Joe. Please be nice. Benny's in here. Listen Up was in here. Rick Rock, Brittany, Dan Moscow, Vezo, AA Ron Nelson, Vice Rosa. Have a great day, guys. June, thanks again. Buckeye.
See you, Petey.
All right, have a great day, guys. Go Jets.
Later, guys.
All right.
Jerry Rucker.